What's up, my boys? It's your mother loving Starboy. So I'm sure by now everybody's seen what's gone down in the DMs with Sony. And today, yeah, we're gonna have that discussion, and I'm gonna share a couple of my thoughts that um, surrounding the topic. But before we jump into that, I just wanted to say that the Play Asia video that I had planned for uploads today, there was the file got corrupted before I was able to upload, so we'll just start back up the Play Asia videos. We'll start that back up next weekend, but the VGP store, the VGP upload should still be coming out a little bit later on today. But at any rate, yeah, let's get into this funny business that Sony's getting into. And here's the thing, okay? I inherently don't have a problem with them going digital, okay? That's really not my issue. It's the fact that with them going digital, they're pretty much closing off their access to having options. And I think for them that's going to be a little bit problematic because they're not really fully set up surrounding like other options as far as like refunds and just the whole digital platforms. You know, you've seen my videos on the PC side with Epic, GOG. Occasionally I'll throw in Steam. You know, I'll mention out. I'll do a shout out for Steam. But the thing is with the digital side on PC is that you got all these options. They're not a closed ecosystem. You got options. They have refund policies that actually work. At least with Steam, you know, they got a pretty decent refund policy. And Sony and Xbox are going to have to come around a little bit on this. Sony more so in particular because they're just, I don't think they're ready to go like fully digital. And I realize that a lot of their income is coming from the digital purchases. Okay, nobody's out here denying that. Okay, and it's all, you know, with their profits and everything, nobody's denying that. But as far as the Xbox side of things, I think that they're a little bit ahead of Sony on this, just because of the fact they have Microsoft backing them, and they do have the option of the Play Anywhere, and so like with Xbox at least. Now, obviously, it's not all their titles. You know, obviously they're going to be, you know. There's going to be times where you're going to either have to play on a console or play on a PC. But they do have that middle ground of, you know, the Play Anywhere titles, where if you have the console, you can play it on there. If you have the PC, you can transfer it over to PC. So I'll give credit to Xbox on that. Me personally, I'm not really excited about going all digital, but like I said, I understand that's where we're going. And like I said, I'm not inherently against going all digital. I'm just against the fact of buying a console from Sony or Xbox just to go all digital. Okay. Now the only reason why I even have an Xbox now is because like I'll play some. I'll go back and I'll get obviously I'll get Series X titles, but you know I'll go back. For the 360 games that can play on Series X, I'll get those. I'll get some Xbox One games. You know, just it's to having the option of having the physical version of those games. But as well, like I said, with their digital side, at least they have the option with a handful of games of the Play Anywhere titles. So, like I said, they have the option there, and I think Sony needs to incorporate some version of that where they have a PC port where they're able to, they have a PC port where they're able to kind of go back and forth. If you want to play it on your console, you can play it on your console. If you want to play it on, PC, have a way to incorporate that on PC. But this whole thing of buying a box, closing it off just to the system, I mean, it's they say it's not going to hurt them in the long run. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that it's not going to really matter to them either which way. But at this point, like if you're going all digital, at this point you might as well go PC. And I'm fortunate enough in the position I'm in right now to have all the current systems available to me now. I have the Series X, I have the PS5, I have the Switch 1, Switch 2, and obviously PC. But not everybody is in that space. And if they're going to be asking this what supposedly is going to be north of $1,000, at that point, I mean, I can't really, in good faith, suggest going with PlayStation or Xbox at this point. Use that. I mean, I would almost suggest at this point, just get you put that money towards a really well-built, either build it yourself or a really well-built, pre-built desktop at that point, game PC. Because at least with the PC side, you're able to do more than just play games. Now, obviously, people are gonna, kind of dedicate to one way or the other, but at least you have the option of doing actual work on the PC, as opposed to just playing games. And I just can't, in good faith, like I said, if you're going to be asking north of 1G or one band to just to play games, nah, fam, you gotta give me a little bit more than that. You gotta make it worth it. And for as much hate as Nintendo's gotten this whole thing, I'm more of the Nintendo. I come from the Nintendo side. I grew up on Nintendo, and that's kind of been my heart and soul this whole time. Even though I have played on the other consoles at some point or another, but the PS5, surprisingly enough, was my first home console from PlayStation that I'd actually bought. And now it's just I've waited all this time to actually get a PlayStation, and now it's just now they're ending the physical disc for it. So because I'd gotten Xboxes at some point, but mainly I've been a Nintendo guy, this whole time. And I had friends growing up that had PlayStations and Xboxes and all that, and usually we kind of go around. I'd hop on their systems whenever we go, or whenever I go over to their house. Now I was the Nintendo guy growing up. So before the PS5, the only other dedicated system that I had that was from PlayStation was the PSP. And when they switched over to the Vita, and they switched from the UMD to a different format, that was another move where I was like, dude, I'm done. Like you're switching formats of how you're playing, and then you have the proprietary cards too, and you couldn't even use the typical SD cards. So when you make moves like that, it's just really hard for people to transition to buy in just when you keep switching up stuff like that. Now their home consoles, they up until this point, Sony's been on it. And I don't think anybody's going to take away from them being the lead home console. I mean, they've won just about every generation up until this point, and I don't think anybody's going to take that away from them. But just in general, man, this is a bad take, and like I said, and the thing is, I think people will come around. They will, but for right now, I don't think this was the time for them to do it. And it's not so much a bad take. Let me walk that back a little bit. It's just a bad take for them to start doing it now. I'll put it that way, because they're not set up. They're not set up for the all digital future quite yet, because there's other steps they're going to have to take for them to be like fully prepared for this. And the word is that the general public is the one that's kind of pushing for this. And I'll agree with that. Like, you know, with most of the market share going for digital games, like, I think we can all agree on that. But at the same time, if you're wanting to push this forward, yeah, you're going to have to. They're going to have to make some pretty decent changes in the way they're providing, how they offer this digital future, and how they're offering right now. Yeah, this isn't it. This isn't it. And for your PlayStation enthusiasts that are out here that like would have bought there, you know, you got your PlayStation enthusiasts out that they're gonna buy it no matter what. But for the ones that have these huge PS4, PS5 disc collections, it's gonna be hard for them. It's gonna be hard for them to kind of grasp on to not having access to their physical games. And like I said, I think moving forward, people will eventually like come around to it. But I know but ones like me, like I've been like, they were kind of like in the middle of the road with this, like, because I do mess around with like digital games, but if the option's there for physical, I'm always going to go physical. So with that at this point, so right now the next system, I'm not going to be pulling the plug on it, like, because with them not offering any way of physical games in the future and them having a closed ecosystem, there's really no point, because I got a PC, so I'll just wait for a PC port to come out, or, you know, I'll find some other way to play it. So there's really no point in moving forward with buying a PlayStation for this next generation. So for someone like me that's been like, you know, physical most of the time, and like I said, with a lot of the indie games, you know, I'll purchase them on a digital platform some way or another, and then if the physical comes out, then I'll double dip and end up getting the physical too as well. And I think they're forgetting that too, is this, like, you got people that'll do that, like they'll buy it digitally and then they'll double dip and get the physical sale if it's a game they really like. So I think they're forgetting that aspect too. I mean, you're just losing out on having the option of just extra income. I mean, yes, most of your money is going to come from digital, but you're just leaving money on the table at this point, because you're going to have people like me that will buy it digitally if there's a sale, but the thing is, with them not having it, they're not going to run as many sales on the digital side until they decide to. Now the thing is with the PC side, with it being an open platform, there's competition. So yeah, they're going to run sales against each other to kind of bring people to whatever platform, whether it be Steam, GOG, or Epic. So they're gonna run sales to kind of at different times, and with the exception of ones like Nintendo, where they'll do sales too, but just not to the point of like PlayStation or Xbox, but they'll do sales too. But Nintendo right now is the one that's, I think they're gonna be in it for a long time. Now I think they'll eventually go the digital route as well, but it's gonna be a while before they do that. And I think with Nintendo's route, I think they're gonna the next gen, they're going to probably focus a little bit more on the game key cards, which I'm not excited about, but they'll probably lean into that. The next gen probably a little bit more, and then after they get done with doing the game key cards, then they might go to being all digital. But as for right now, I would like, as far as producing like physical games, Nintendo's right now the one that's most consistently producing first party games, and now they're starting to pull in all this third party support because the Switch 2 doing well. Now, yes, you are getting a downgraded version of the games, but they are offering with certain pathway to having it on the card or a game key card. And like for me personally, like if the third party game isn't available all on cart, then I'll probably be getting it on Sony or Xbox. I'll get the physical versions on there, because like I'm not gonna pay Nintendo, $60, $70 or $70 for a downgraded version of the game. But if it's all on cart, I will definitely support it. Then at that point, I'll definitely support it. If it's all on cart. Like I got Indiana Jones, I got Oblivion coming in as well. I also got the Tomb Raider version. Those are all on cart for the PS5. Now, obviously, I've played these games before, but like it's when they start offering stuff like that, then I'm definitely going to support the physical side of it. But if they're like in this case, if Sony is forcing the hand of going all digital, then there's really no need for me to really delve into their hardware. And like in this case, like I said, I'll be going the PC route, and Epic or Steam or GOG, and that's gonna be the pathway forward from here on out. And like I said, I think most people like I said, the PlayStation enthusiasts, the people that are like dedicated PlayStation fans, yeah, they're gonna jump into it regardless. But I don't know, man. It's sad to see. It's sad to see, because it's like I said, because every generation Sony has been kind of like Sony's been like the lead console maker of just about every generation they've had it, with the exception of when they went against the 360 and they lost it at first, but they came back and ended up claiming that generation too. But I don't know, man. And like I said, I had a feeling they weren't going to come off this. Like, I don't know, something like that told me they weren't going to come off of it. At the same time, it's just going to be interesting to see, like, the first couple of years of how that goes down. And like I said, they definitely need to figure out some things going in this next year and a half, 2 years. They need to come up with some things to incentivize people to buy their hardware, because I have a feeling people are going to buy it, but not at the rate of what they were before. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Like, it's still going to be like a pretty decent. They're going to have some pretty decent offerings, but you got to think about they're going to have people that are going to go out there and buy it, of course. But you got to think about they're going to have a system that's north of $1,000. They're not offering physical, so people are going to be like, you know what, with the way the economy is now, and you're not even offering physical games, so they're going to take their time. They'll get it, but they're definitely going to take their time getting into whether or not they're going to buy their hardware for the next generation. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how this pans out. But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be obviously there's going to be plenty more discussion on this, and we'll see what happens, and look, we're all in this together, so we'll see how this pans out. But at any rate, yeah, I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents on it. It's probably kind of a hot take, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, these are just my couple of thoughts that I had on the situation here. And like I said, it's more like I said, I'm not really immediately against them going all digital, but it's just like I said, with the closed network that they have going on right now, them not having a PC offering, it's sad, man. It really is. And maybe I waited a little bit too late to actually get a home console from them, but like I will say, I have enjoyed the time that I have had with the PS5. So I mean, I give them credit; they gave me plenty of hours of fun gameplay. So I'm not going to take that away from them, but at the same time, it's sad to see them go in this direction. But that's just like I said, that's just my opinion, and you know, the good news or the good thing for me, it actually forced me to be a little bit more patient in what I decide to buy from them. So it'll make me a little bit more budget conscious in that aspect. But at any rate, yeah, share your thoughts with it. Share your thoughts with me in the comments down below. And yeah, and that'll do it for today. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one. Starboy out.